So, we've taken a look at the fallen houses of kings, judgment, exile, stone, rain, and wolves. Today we'll be taking a look at the remaining houses, namely the devils, dusk, light, scar, winter, and the newest, House of Salvation. House of Scar. One of the lesser known houses is the House of Scar, briefly mentioned by Varix to constantly be in conflict with the House of Winter. However, after the events of the Whirlwind, its status is currently unknown, with many Fallen believing that it has since gone extinct. House of Winter. Unlike their frequent encounters with the House of Scar, the House of Winter managed to survive the Whirlwind Cataclysm. Making their way to Venus, they seek to plunder Golden Age technology within the Ishtar Academy's archives. This led to battles against the Vex on Venus. When the Caliph Kings called for a united front against the last city, the House of Winter was one of two others, the other being the House of Devils, to answer the call. The ensuing battle, however, lost them a considerable number of members, which led them to once again scavenge the ruins on Venus, resuming their conflict with the Vex. Their ongoing assault on the Ishtar Collective facility on Venus led to a retaliation by the last city, who sent the Guardians. This was the nail in the coffin, as the Guardians not only secured the facility, but also successfully assassinated a number of Winter leadership, resulting in the house not only being leaderless, but fractured as well. During the events of the Wolf Rebellion, Skolas, Caliph Wolf, managed to enlist the help of Winter members, with House of Winter members seen all around the Vault of Glass and the Citadel. However, after his demise, the house returned to being leaderless once more. House of Satan! or Devils. The House of Devils, which were distinguishable by their red cloaks, were for the longest time the city's most pervasive foe, even more so than the Hive. That is, of course, until the arrival of the Red Legion. The House of Devils were involved with several notable events both in the past and present day, being the initiators to a historical battle known as the Six Fronts, taking part in the Battle of the Twilight Gap, and being the target of the House of Wolves in their rebellion. The House of Devils have since suffered much loss, and continued setbacks also occurred during the Taken War, when their lair were overrun with many of the devils themselves being taken. Their last known attempt at revitalization came in the form of the Siva crisis, when a subsection of the house utilized Siva in order to strengthen themselves, though this attempt too was made futile and was promptly put a stop to by the Guardians and Lord Saladin, the last Iron Lord. With their defeat at the end of the Siva crisis, the Devils made a complete withdrawal from the Cosmodrome. A majority of the Devils would soon find themselves taking up the banner of the House of Dusk, but since the escape of Aramis, a former Baroness of the Devils, former Devils members have since begun uniting under the banner of the House of Salvation. House of Dusk. Being the only house to be founded by a non-fallen, the House of Dusk was initially founded by Prince Aldrin Sov. Comprising of members from other houses, the House of Dusk was first encountered during the Red War. With little to no signs of other fallen houses to be found, Dusk members carried out massive guerrilla warfare against the Red Legion all across the solar system, all the while continuing their ongoing battles against the Hive and Vex. Under the new banner, members of the House of Dusk maintained extensive territory, as seen when they were actively present in and around the Sol system, maintaining strong bases on Earth, Titan, and Nasus. Despite a promising start, everything changed in the events of the Forsaken, when Aldrin left the House of Dusk. Though they did see a surge in membership recruitment, the House continues to splinter due to lack of leadership. Many members have since gone rogue, either joining other fallen criminal syndicates on the Tangled Shore or remaining independent. During the events of the Shadow Keep, the House of Dusk remains divided, and in a last-ditch attempt at survival, made their way to the moon. Securing a crashed ketch, the House managed to gain a lot of their old territories on the moon. However, without proper leadership, remains a fragile force on the cusp of extinction. House of Light. Not much has been revealed as of yet about the House of Light, but what is known is that the house is newly formed by Mithrax, formerly a Vandal of the House of Wolves and captain of the House of Dusk, now a Kell of Light. The house was formed from his belief that humanity has proven itself worthy of the Traveler over the Fallen, proclaiming himself Kell to the open-minded, the Fallen who are willing to fight for the Traveler alongside with humanity. Their only appearance as of yet has been from the mission 0 Hour, where Mithrax, together with the Guardian, led an assault against Aramis and those loyal to her. Though not much is known, it is expected that they may become more significant in the fight against the House of Salvation, due to Osiris asking Saint 14 to approach Mithrax. Founded by Aramis, Kell of Darkness, a former baroness to the House of Devils, the House of Salvation was formed following the deterioration of the House of Devils, Dusk, and Wolf. Initially, Aramis attempted to steal the Siva-powered Outbreak Perfected in order to empower her forces with Siva technology. This was, however, thwarted due to the combined might of both Mithrax, Kell of Light, and the Guardians. After recent events on the moon, reports have come in stating that Aramis, along with members of the House of Salvation and Varix, Kell of Judgment, are making their way to Europa, as she is seen attempting to harness the power of the pyramids in order to destroy the Traveler. On Europa, Aramis displays the first ever powers of darkness, manifested through the stasis element. Whether or not this power of darkness would be expanded upon to match the three elements of light remains to be seen. What is known is that Aramis needs to be stopped, lest the power of darkness would spread across not just the House of Salvation, but throughout the entire fallen species, and possibly even further. It's not completely clear as to whether all fallen houses have been incorporated into the House of Salvation, but with some, like Mithrax and Varix, showing resistance to Aramis's rule, shows that not all of them agree to the idea of destroying the Traveler. Thank you for watching. If you like what we do here or would like to suggest more in-depth lore for us to explore, please feel free to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and comment on your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching.